Our story begins with a whisper from the past, found in a forgotten sea captain's logbook. He wrote of a place beyond the known world, the Eighth Horizon. Led by Dr. Aris Thorne, a team set sail aboard the Odyssey, guided by the captain's cryptic clues. The journey began in the South Pacific, the sea calm and the sky blue. The logbook warned of sudden storms and a sense of being watched by something ancient. As the world faded behind them, the whispers of a forgotten voyage echoed in every wave. After weeks at sea, the ocean changed, its blue replaced by a glowing milky green hue. The water teemed with unknown bioluminescent microorganisms. The sea was alive in ways science had never seen. The captain's sea that sings a silent song now made sense. The water's surface became unnaturally calm, the ship gliding in eerie silence. Strange, colorful mists danced on the horizon, vanishing as quickly as they appeared, awe mixed with unease. The rules of nature no longer applied. One night the sky erupted in ribbons of green and purple light, an aurora far from the poles. The lights pulsed in time with the glowing sea, a phenomenon beyond explanation. The sky that bleeds light was real, beautiful and terrifying. As they neared their destination, instruments failed, compass spinning, GPS dead. Cut off from the world, they relied solely on their skills and the ancient logbook. Isolation was complete. Wonder and fear grew in equal measure. The ocean's transformation was both a welcome and a warning. The team realized they were approaching a place where science and myth blurred. Every moment brought new marvels and new dangers. The Odyssey pressed on, adrift in a sea of impossibilities. The Eighth Horizon was near, and the unknown awaited. The crew braced themselves for what lay ahead. The ocean had become a threshold to another world. There was no going back. At dawn, through swirling mists, land appeared, a jagged black coastline unlike any on Earth. Mountains rose like the teeth of a beast, waterfalls turning to mist before reaching the sea. Shores of polished obsidian reflected the strange skylights. Forests of crystalline trees glowed with blues and pinks, their branches catching the dawn. The explorers stood in awe. The Eighth Horizon was real. Dr. Thorne and his team felt both triumph and humility. The biologist, Dr. Petrova, took trembling notes. The geologist, Kenji Tanaka, tried to comprehend the impossible landscape. For the first time, they were true explorers, witnessing a world no human had seen. The air vibrated with a low, constant hum, as if the land itself was alive. The hum resonated in their bones, a living pulse from the island. The realization sent a shiver through the team. They were stepping into a world with its own power. The coastline was a tapestry of color and form, both beautiful and intimidating. The Odyssey searched for a place to anchor, the crew silent with anticipation. The sense of being watched returned, stronger than ever. Every detail defied explanation. Every moment felt like a dream. The Eighth Horizon was not just a place, it was an experience. The adventure was only beginning. The team prepared to go ashore, hearts pounding with excitement and fear. The unknown beckoned and they answered. The first step onto the island would change everything. The world they knew was gone. A new one awaited. The hum of the land was a welcome and a warning. The journey had entered its next phase. Landing was treacherous, but the team found a cove and prepared to go ashore. The air was thick with the scent of unknown blossoms. The ground glowed with golden moss, crystalline trees towering overhead. Flowers chimed in the breeze, petals opening and closing in rhythmic patterns. The world was breathtaking but deeply alien. Dr. Petrova collected samples, marveling at new species everywhere. Iridescent insect-like creatures flitted between branches, mesmerizing in their grace. Yet there were no birds, no animal calls, only the chimes and the island's hum. The silence was as strange as the sights. The team moved deeper, feeling both peace and unease. Beauty here could hide danger. They remained cautious. Every shadow and rustle was noted, every step deliberate. The explorers were on a new frontier, aware of the logbook's warnings. The sense of being watched grew stronger. The island seemed to welcome them, but the feeling was deceptive. They pressed on, driven by curiosity and caution. The glowing forest was a living dream, one that could turn at any moment. The team's scientific training kept them alert. They were in awe, but never off guard. Something unseen was observing their every move. Deeper inland, the team found a clearing with a black stone temple and a massive, jeweled reptilian guardian. Its golden eyes watched them, radiating intelligence and power. The team froze, fear mingling with awe. Dr. Thorne raised his hand in peace, hoping for understanding. The creature's gaze seemed to read their intentions. The island's hum intensified, emanating from the guardian itself. Dr. Vance, the linguist, sensed a wordless communication. Curiosity, not aggression. The creature was a gatekeeper, judging their purpose. She urged the team to remain calm and non-threatening. After a tense standoff, the Guardian moved aside, granting them passage to the temple. Relief washed over the team. They had been judged worthy. Passing the creature, they felt its ancient eyes on their backs. The stakes had risen. The journey was now a test. The temple beckoned, promising deeper mysteries. The team's fear faded, replaced by wonder. They had encountered a being beyond comprehension. The Guardian's approval was their invitation forward. The explorers entered the temple, hearts pounding. The next stage of their journey had begun. The unknown awaited within. Beyond the temple lay a vast, ruined city, towers and palaces of black rock and crystal, silent and haunting. The architecture was organic, as if grown, not built. Carvings covered every surface, telling the story of tall, graceful beings, the Skywatchers, living in harmony with reptilian guardians. Dr. Vance worked to decipher the elegant script, finding symbols for sky, stone, and spirit. The city was a memorial to a lost civilization. Deeper in, the carvings changed. Peaceful scenes gave way to warnings. Images showed the Skywatchers fearing a dark celestial body, a world breaker. The script became frantic, describing catastrophe. Dr. Vance translated phrases: falling shadow, world breaker, great silence. The city's end was not natural. It was a disaster from the sky. The ruins were a testament to survival and loss. The explorers realized they were walking through history's graveyard. The city's silence was heavy with meaning. The past was speaking, and they were listening. The carvings led the team to a central pyramid, the hum, strongest here. Inside, walls depicted the Skywatchers' desperate attempts to shield their world from the falling shadow. They built machines of crystal and light, fighting for survival. The final carvings showed chaos, city crumbling, trees shattering, sky burning. Yet there was hope. The Skywatchers entrusted their knowledge to the reptilian guardians. The pyramid was a library, not a tomb, a time capsule of memory. At its heart, a floating crystal pulsed with white light, the hum deafening. The last carvings showed the Skywatchers leaving in starships, beginning a new journey. The eighth horizon was their cradle, not their grave. The explorers stood in awe, surrounded by the legacy of a lost world. The chamber was a bridge between past and future. The crystal's light was a beacon of hope and warning. The story was clear: survival, loss, and the promise of new beginnings. The team realized the true scale of their discovery. The journey was far from over. The star map in the pyramid changed everything. The team had found proof of an interstellar civilization, evidence that would rewrite history. Awe gave way to responsibility. What should they do with this knowledge? Revealing it could change the world or destroy it. The map felt like an invitation, a challenge to follow the Skywatcher's path. The team debated: return home and share their findings, or journey onward into the unknown. The risks were immense, the choice irreversible. Some argued for duty to humanity, others for the pursuit of discovery. The pull of the unknown was strong. They had come this far, guided by whispers from the past. Now, the future called to them. The decision was theirs alone. The next step would define not just their fate, but perhaps humanity's. The path of no return beckoned. In the end, discovery proved a burden as much as a triumph. The team became custodians of a secret too powerful to share lightly. The eighth horizon was a test, a filter for those worthy of its knowledge. The Skywatcher's legacy was a question: are you ready? The team's final choice remains unknown: return home or follow the star map into the cosmos. The story is not just about a hidden land, but about the nature of exploration. The greatest discoveries are found within ourselves. The universe is full of wonders, but with wonder comes responsibility. The journey into the unknown is moral as much as physical. The eighth horizon's legacy is a reminder. Sometimes The greatest triumph is knowing when to listen and when to understand our place in a much older, grander story. The adventure continues somewhere beyond the horizon. The whispers of discovery never truly fade.